Next up, Russ and I are going to give out our recommendations of the week.
You're not going to want to miss this one. But before we dive in, subscribe, like, comment, and give us your social security numbers.
To wrap up today, we thought we would give our newest recommendations of the week.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And Russ, I know that you've typically been going first and kind of sharing with the audience your favorite pick. Would you like to go first again? Would you like me to go?
I would like you to go first.
You'd like me to go first? Okay.
Because I know you haven't seen my film.
I haven't.
And I've seen you showed me your film, and I'm on board. You converted me to this one.
Secret Agent 0014.
Why 0014?
Because I'm twice as smart as 007.
My recommendation for the week is a movie starring Matt Damon.
Weird, right?
My first two recommendations that we kicked off with were Hands on a Hard Body and The Untamed. And in those two situations, those were movies that I feel like are unsort of heard of, and that's why they're underseen. Whereas I feel like this is a movie that you may have heard of because this was a Steven Soderbergh movie and Matt Damon's involved. Maybe you just didn't watch it. And I feel like this is criminally underseen and is a movie that should be seen by all, and that's called The Informant. I love this movie so much because of how damn funny that it is. And I never expected to laugh at Matt Damon. I never expected him to be sort of the comedy relief in a comedy movie. Like, he's in funny things. He's not like, this isn't like completely out of his realm, but he's usually not the one that you're laughing at. And just looking at this cover, just this poster alone, I just laugh at that face. I mean, I just laugh at what he looks like. This character with this mustache and this oversized suit and these silly ties that he wears, he's just funny to look at. And then you kind of get into this character and this performance, and it's just incredible.
Thank you.
What caught me by surprise was how much he's kind of a different kind of character than I've expected him to be over the years, as well as a lot of other actors in this movie that are known for being in comedy or known for being stand-up comedians, period, and they're doing a serious role. And he's doing this funny role. So in general, there's kind of some tables turned. You've got Biff in there. And you've got a little Scott Bakula.
What?
Just for people that don't know, this is a true story of a guy who blew the whistle on his own company for some price-fixing scheme, and then he becomes part of a sting operation with the FBI to take down members of his own company. But through the movie and through listening to his inner dialogue, you kind of learn to realize that he's not only is he an unreliable narrator, but he's also probably just crazy.
What?
It just becomes this interesting journey to go along this movie to kind of think, like, is this really happening? Like, who is this guy? Yeah. You know, how is this going to turn out? And again, this is a true story with, they have a little epilogue at the end, so it shows you how, everything turned out. But great twists and turns, great performances. I'm not a Steven Soderbergh fan, but, I feel like this is definitely an underseen gem of his. I would recommend this to anybody that wants to laugh.
Maybe.
I would too. I would recommend it to anybody. I think it's hilarious. And Matt, you showed me this film. I'm eternally grateful you did. I immediately purchased it afterwards.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, cool.
I think the problem with this movie being underseen, it's too intelligent. People don't watch things like this anymore, and you're missing out on a great comedy. The way, like you said, the way they utilize the narration in it to where you slowly kind of understand, like, wait, this guy's fucking crazy.
He's crazy, yes.
And it's almost like...
He seems like a real good guy. I hope he doesn't mind me calling him Brian instead of Agent Shepard. I might even try Bry out. This must be very different for him, talking to a guy like me instead of a bank robber or a drug dealer. I could see us fishing or whatever. What a good listener. You don't meet one of those every day.
It's almost like a slow burn of like how off the rails he is. And like you said, Matt Damon's great in it because he's so optimistic.
And just those inner monologues that he has. Think of, for people that maybe haven't seen this, but maybe saw, American Psycho, like think of those inner monologues that he would have, Patrick Bateman would have sometimes that were a little humorous, kind of funny, take on the situation. But his inner monologues are like off on some topic that is just so outlandish and bizarre that who is even thinking of?
When polar bears hunt, they crouch down by a hole in the ice and wait for a seal to pop up. They keep one paw over their nose so that they blend in. because they've got those black noses. They'd blend in perfectly if not for the nose. So the question is, how do they know their noses are black? From looking at other polar bears? Do they see their reflections in the water and think, I'd be invisible if not for that? That seems like a lot of thinking for a bear.
Every time the narration comes on, I'm just ready to laugh. It's so good. It's an interesting sort of kind of like a mystery a little bit in a way. Cause like I said, you don't really know what's going on. You kind of think you do it at first and then you're not really sure because of the unreliable nature of what he's telling the audience until it finally ends up and you're like, finally get what's going on. And then you come to find out the true story. The guy really was sort of like bipolar and schizophrenic and all this kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of the things go on in this movie that do. So I don't know. It's insanely funny. If you're a Matt Damon fan at all, definitely see this movie. And even if you're not, and you want to just, like I said, laugh at like an intelligent comedy, this is definitely the way to go. I highly recommend The Informant.
Great.
Russ, what do you got?
Since this is Nicolas Cage Day, I decided to go with the movie that got him the Oscar, masterpiece, Leaving Las Vegas.
I'm like a prickly pear. I'm a prickly pear.
Go inside.
I've never seen a better portrayal of an alcoholic. He nails how pathetic it is, how, like, there's parts in this movie where he'll just have random outbursts where he's having a great time and he just does it so well. And that kind of plays into, I guess we view it comedically, but when it's toned down through alcoholism, like his mannerisms and that, it's excellent. It's a man who decides to burn everything he owns, move to Las Vegas, and drink himself to death. And nothing's going to stop him. That's the setup. You see him messing up his job, you see him messing up his connections, and they let him go. And that's when he decides, fuck it, I'm just going to go die. He meets Elizabeth Shue. She's a prostitute. They form a relationship, but he can't have sex. He's an alcoholic. It don't work. But he's desperate for companionship in a way. And she knows she needs it as well. She's going through some stuff in her life. And so it's an unlikely partnership. But the one caveat is, no matter how close we get, you will never tell me to stop drinking. I am here to die.
We're not going to talk about that. Fuck you. We're not going to talk about that.
To me, Leaving Las Vegas is one of those that gets so dark in moments, I can't help but laugh. The performances are incredible. He's incredible.
Yeah, how's Elizabeth Shue?
She's great too. And like I said, at that point in her career, all she was known for would have been Karate Kid, Adventures in Babysitting, Soap Dish, Back to the Future 2. She was the girlfriend.
You know, I perform it and I perform it well.
And this, she held her own in a pretty dark performance. She carries it. She has gravitas to it. I believe her as being sort of hard in this world. To me, this is the movie that solidified her as a serious actress.
And who's the director, Figgis? What has he done?
Nothing else.
Which is not to say that I'm indifferent or I don't care. I do.
After Leaving Las Vegas came out, the next thing I saw Elizabeth Shue in was Hollow Man.
I like Hollow Man.
Hollow Man's badass.
She's great. I mean, Link. Have you seen Link?
I have not seen Link.
Put it on.
So is this like a blind buy situation, Russ? Is this something that you would recommend to everyone? Is it not for everyone? I mean, it won an Oscar, so he won an Oscar, so I feel like it's got to have some universal appeal.
It's a really good adult,
Drama.
depressing movie. But the thing I like, this was still at a time when you could make serious films about something like substance abuse and not have it be like Requiem for a Dream. Mm-hmm. And that's not a knock on Requiem for a Dream. But when I say that Leaving Las Vegas is dark and dour, it's dark and dour in a world that you'll recognize. Mm-hmm. It's not overly stylized, like, holy shit, everything's going fast and slow. You know, it's not, it's a movie. You are living with this character. It's entertaining. It's just not uplifting.
Okay.
And those are movies that are up my alley, honestly.
Entertaining.
And I think a lot of people who are like me, who kind of likes nihilistic worldview kind of movies, I don't feel like this one gets mentioned a lot. I think if you are into darker movies, maybe this one didn't go on your radar because of the Oscar win and, you know, Nicolas Cage, Elizabeth Shue. I'm even a fan of the soundtrack. Sting does like 2 lounge jazz songs. Whenever I speak, the very thought of you makes my heart.
I've been to Tokyo. They sell little girl underwear in the vending machines right on the main drag, the Ginza or whatever. Guys in suits buying used girl panties. How is that okay? That's not okay.
Did you ever see the prequel Honeymoon in Vegas?
That I did not.
Well, Russ, thank you for that recommendation. And I hope you all enjoy these recommendations. Let us know below if you want us to keep these coming. I really enjoy sharing some of our favorite movies with everybody out there. And if you're watching this, share some of your favorite movies with us. What are some movies that we should be watching that we aren't, or maybe you don't know if we have, and you would love us to take a look at or check out. But as far as The Informant, as far as Leaving Las Vegas, give them a watch.